The NeuroDADverse podcast is produced by Squid Shack Studios.
Hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm Dan.
We're both fathers,
We're both married.
and we're both raising kids with diagnosed neurodiverse conditions.
Parenting is tough, and we're not saying it's harder for us, just different.
And sometimes that different can be hard to explain.
That's why we've created the NeuroDADverse, a weekly show where we share our wins, our challenges, and all the neurosparkly and neurospicy bits in between.
Our hope is to create a safe space for parents to share their own highs and lows of neurodiverse parenting. And just to remind you of three things.
You're doing great,
You are enough.
and you're definitely not alone.
So welcome to the NeuroDADverse. Hello, it's Neurosparkly and Neurospicy time. Welcome to the NeuroDADverse, which is the podcast for, about, and definitely by parents of neurodivergent children. If you're new, we're going to get together and share our biggest challenges and wins of the past week. If you're not new, we're still going to do the same thing. I'm Ben, and this is Dan. Welcome to our NeuroDADverse. Hello, Dan. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. I thought you was calling me neurospicy, or I thought we had to claim one then. I like that intro. It's something new.
Well, is it because we might have forgotten exactly how we've written it, or do I like to try and write it just before we come on? It keeps the general thing, and I look at it, and sometimes I think this is boring, and we'll just go with it. But yeah, no, I would not dare to call you either sparkly or spicy. It's a lovely mix of the both, my friend.
I wonder if my nearest and dearest would say the same thing. I might ask them. Might update you next week.
Well, don't ask now, because live updates. Are we not in the middle of bath time now?
Bath time is happening literally over there, yeah. So I will try and get a live bath time score via WhatsApp later on.
Yes,
Stay tuned.
Do not
If you-
interrupt that very, very precious, sensitive time.
If you hear like bird sounds or whatever, that's Frankie having a good time in the bath. He sounds like he's in, so that's a win.
Have we talked before about duo or solo parenting? Like, in terms of
Not as an actual. It's on our list of potential like topics for an episode, which could be quite relevant because I have updates on that.
Oscar very much cannot deal with an intense scenario like that, helped by two different people and two conflicting ideas. Anyway, we are well off topic. Well, not off topic, but off track before. How was your week in 3 words, my friend?
So my week in 3 words, it's been a weird one because it's had 2 weekends since we last recorded. So we recorded last Friday, didn't we? So we've had last weekend and then this weekend. So my week in 3 words, I'm going to go for winning. I'm going to go for a little bit of solo parenting, and I'm going to go for refreshed.
Cool. I'm going for opinions,
Ooh.
academics,
Okay.
and antithesis.
Okay. You win the Scrabble score version for sure. No, okay. I want to hear yours first. I want to hear what your week might include.
What some of those things might refer to, and what might pop up in my wins and challenges, are that we had some medical appointments and interactions, if you want to say, for Mabel. And mentioning that has just made me think that I have a better win of the week than I had planned, which is good. We've had some attempt at some independence coaching for both of the kids from Laura and myself. Not like, it wasn't planned. It was just ongoing. And also with that, we had some discussions on some topics that are quite mature with both of them. So some of those things might end up being in my win or challenge.
Ooh.
What about you? What might pop up in your week and a bit, shall we call it?
Yeah, almost week. Yeah, week and a bit. So the last week and a bit, I had film festival, solo parenting in the same weekend.
Of course, yeah.
We've had first full week back at school, and
also that. Also that.
and some of the mostly around sort of school stuff really, and Frankie developmental updates. I'll leave it like that.
Oh,
That sounds like it
cool.
could be a good or a bad, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That was quite clinical.
Well, I want to hear about that, but this can't be tennis where I go, I want to hear about yours. So did you want to go challenge or?
Yeah. You tell me do you want me to do challenge? Then you do win, then I do.
I could do challenge.
Go for it.
And then it gets it out of the way.
Does it match one of your 3 words?
Yeah, I said antithesis because it's almost like this week has flipped for me a little bit, or for Laura and I a little bit. It didn't take that long for school to be a little bit more challenging for Mabel. And Mabel and I have had a chat, and I'm conscious not to just go onto this podcast and unveil all of the stresses and frustrations of how things are kind of socially. But yeah, she struggles. There's quite a lot of anxiety about school in general. She just had an interaction where, in her eyes, she tried to advocate for herself and go off and try and support. They had like school photos, and at the end of that, lots of people in lots of rooms, she was like, I'm very overwhelmed. I'm going to go to my couple of designated places. And then like wasn't in class for that because she was trying to be with the person, the whatever. And then that got logged that she wasn't in class. Systems. It wasn't necessarily picked up. A sanction was put in place. I don't think only that, but just a lot of like emotive stuff meant that we didn't feel like we could go to school. So, and that really hurts because I remember saying last week that she'd kind of taken it as, oh, bang, this is like, you're 10. This is new. Right, cool. I'll bring my book home. I'll actively choose to be doing a bit at home. And like, we're not pushing that because we realise academics is my other one. Like, they don't test for a lot of the things that you are probably incredible at. And I think that's true of every kid, neuro, spicy,
100%.
sparkly, or typical, untypical, all brains, but specifically focusing on some of the needs that Mabel has. But that's hard because then it you can also see your kid not necessarily feeling themselves, and that is a shame for us. So we know it's a long road, but it has felt like a complete flip. I think if I'm scraping for some positives, I think what Laura and I do have is some systems in place, and would try, maybe get Mabel on and ask her. We try not to make her feel the blame of that, but equally build the resilience. It's long-term stuff. So it's a shame because actually the school that she's at for 3 years has been a really supportive, encouraging place, and it continues to be. It's just doesn't take much to balance it out.
Yeah,
you know, it doesn't take much to tip it over.
It can flip 180 so fast, doesn't it? So I'm really sorry to hear. That
but what that means is next week, there is entirely the opportunity for it to happen again because she's doing subjects like her option subjects as stuff that are like kind of encouraging her, and anyway, that's been the biggest challenge, is to do that thing where you remain calm. We've talked a lot about that on this podcast, like if you can remain calm. So I advocate communicating with the school because Laura will be very emotional and say, oh, you shouldn't do that, this is how you should do it, and that's not really the role of parents and schools. That might be pretty controversial for some parents who are listening to this, going, no, I want to tell the school everything that needs to happen for my kid. But it's kind of, I always say, and it's open for the debate, but I always say, like, it's not, if you're a parent and you're approaching the school, you're not at a buffet where you can just pick what you want for your child. It's, these are the things my child struggles with. What can you put in place? And you work together alongside the school. the issue that we often get as parents, I use that collectively, is that those teachers and those support workers don't always have enough time. They don't
resources.
have enough people, resources, and blah blah blah. But
and time.
It is not the. It is not the. Yeah, and the time, and maybe the support. It's not a political chat podcast, but I think people know, if you're listening to this podcast, that the education system is not fantastic. The mainstream education system is not fantastic. There are fantastic people within it doing incredible things for all types of students, including the neurodivergent, but it can be complicated. And that's why next week could be a complete flip around, because I know that those people are in that school working hard for her, and she speaks highly of them.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah, it is really good.
So is it just to try and digest that? Is it usually it kind of does work? It just something broke down and just spiraled a bad experience for the week, or is it like?
I'd love if the answer was yes to that.
Okay, fine.
No,
I can't believe they had school photos the second week back as well. Literally, I've got to just say that as soon as she said that, I went, school photos. They haven't been back an entire week yet. Like, I swear that's an end of year thing. Like, that's quite a big deal to start a year with.
That's interesting. Schools do it very differently. Like,
I suppose they're all up to that. They probably
where I work,
I always did it end of year in my school, or like close to the end of year. It was never in the first term or two.
I mean, this was all the love in the world. It's been a long time since then, Dan.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I'm not as young as I might look. For those watching on YouTube.
My school does it earlier in the year, so it's like, I don't know, but yeah, it's year 9 was kind of tough for her a number of ways, but we are at the point where getting through it, the only way through it is through it, right? So we're just getting through it, and we want her to. The debate at the moment is, how relevant are these GCSEs to me? Because a lot of people will be saying it is very important, and ultimately, sorry, this I will, if I try to chat about that, we'll go down a teacher professionals podcast, which I'm sure you can get elsewhere. But it's just been a shame, because we
started so well.
Start. But if you'd have said, "Oh, how do you think this year's going to go?" I'd have gone, emotional frustration roller coaster. So I know we're on that dip now, and maybe we'll turn it around. Also, Laura's at Mabel to a medical appointment that was to discuss some anxiety stuff, and like I said, I don't want to explore too much, but Mabel did not find that professional
helpful.
That's not the word. What is the word?
They didn't vibe.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, for particular reasons and particular questions that they asked, and the nature of the way they asked them, and
I can resonate.
And when Mabel told me, and I was like, I can see how you didn't enjoy that. They are definitely things that medical professionals will say, will ask. But the important thing for me is that they didn't make you aware. So the long-term gain of that is that when she has those interactions again, it's tough to kind of say, like, how you've said that has made me feel like this, to a professional you've hardly ever met before. So yeah, bit of a challenge supporting her and making her feel. And the biggest thing, there was no Sunday football match for her, so she didn't even have the release of
the outlet.
Cool, this is a thing that I love doing with people I like, and I get a lot of joy from. So yeah, we're in the down mode of the roller coaster, but we bought a ticket, so this is where we are.
And we get to go around again, and hopefully next time it'll be better. Okay, mate. No,
this time we're going faster. What was your challenge?
So my challenge this week, overall, one of my words was winning. I feel like in a couple of different aspects of life this week, there's been some wins, but the challenge that kind of repeats, I've definitely said it probably a couple of times in the podcast, because it is a long-term current challenge, is I think it was middle of the week. I want to say it was like Wednesday or something. Frankie had a great morning. He was like a complete dream. He was up early. He was ready. He was excited. He was like waiting by the door for the transport. He was like, "Dad, I want to go." He was looking at me like, "Let's go." I'm like, "They're not here yet, babe. They'll be here soon. Don't worry." And I'm like, "He's gonna have a great day today." And then when he come back in the evening, one of the crew said to us, "I went, he's a little bit upset today, Dan." He was like, "It looked like he'd been crying before he got on the transport." I see he seems okay now because he really likes, the ride home in the minibus.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll have a look." Then I read in his school book while he was eating his dinner, and they just said he's had a really bad sort of day. He's been really upset and he's been crying a lot. We didn't know why. And then when he was eating his lunch, he was basically pointing and saying that he had a wobbly tooth, and I had no idea. Like, I would not have known he had any kind of pain challenges that day. But yeah, I was just like, oh. And it's just a classic, because he can't communicate in English. And we don't speak Francanese enough to understand that he might have had toothache. He showed no visible signs. Yeah, I know. We're getting better with it.
Yet.
But yeah, it's something I've always been when friends have said like, "Oh, what's the biggest challenge that you've in your situation?" And the fact that I never know if my kid's in pain, if he needs help, or like, unless it's really, really obvious, like he's holding his stomach and bent over in pain. That's the only way I'd normally know. So, but I do think that's I think a lot of our sleep challenges in the summer have been down to he's teething at the moment. But he lost the tooth a few weeks ago and he seemed okay, but obviously maybe not. So he might have been in pain for the last few weeks. I just haven't. I mean, we give him medicine, but it hasn't been like every day, like probably like it should have been. But it's just because we didn't know. Like, so that's it just makes you feel a bit crap, because I was like, oh, well, he looked like he was going to smash the day. I was like, he's been brilliant today. But like literally an hour later, flip 180, he's been crying all day. He's been upset. Good news was he went into school and he's been happy for the rest of the week. But it's just that constant thing.
It's one of those two things can be true, right? Like he's waking up, showing and communicating that he's excited to go to school, and that transition is good. He also has a bad tooth, so that's made him sad at school. Like, those two things are both true.
Yes.
It's not a linear pathway, but yeah.
So yeah, that was just a bit like, oh.
But I remember thinking that he had a tooth out recently, right?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, because I went all cringy, I couldn't help him.
Yeah, but it was okay.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. I don't remember it being a big challenge of the week. It was like,
well, it was a challenge. I brought it up as a challenge because for me, I just felt like I failed as a parent to him in that moment, because I literally could not bring myself to pull the tooth out.
But
that's what he wanted. That's not what I wanted.
He kind of regulated relatively well in the thing. It wasn't deregulated.
Yeah, once it come out, he was happy because that's what he wanted. But I was like, I know it's going to hurt you long term. He was like, it's hurting me now. Get it out of me, sort of thing. So it's just one of those. But yeah, but obviously he's been eating fine. Like, I had absolutely no idea. So the fact that he's literally been upset all day at school, and I was just like, oh, it's just little things like that that could have really impacted the week as well, because obviously those things compound, and then but yeah, so it was just one of those, I thought we were doing all right, and this literally could change our week, but luckily the course has been good. That was just a bit of a sidetrack, but yeah.
Before we move on to wins, I have a second layer challenge of the week, because these things have both been competing for my challenge of the week. It's been one of those. So in an effort to increase Oscar's independence, in terms of that, I have been encouraging Oscar to come and help make his snacks. Catch yourself, and make their snacks. And they are not happy to come and do that.
Is this for school, or is this like
no, like at home? Right. They have snacks. So like throughout the day or the evening or whatever. It's like 3 pots. They have Oreo cookies. They have oh, sorry, someone's at the door. Hold on a second.
Back in a sec. Other cookies are available.
Hi, welcome back. Mild interruption, but that's all right. This is how we do things here in the NeuroDADverse. So I'm going to go straight to the chase because I was just listing loads of ways in which Oscar has their food. They weren't happy to come and help. We're trying to encourage them to come and at least get it from the fridge. They have strawberries and they're like the top's cut off. So I was trying to get them to come and do that. And as they were trying to do that, and I was giving them the next task, they were moaning, kind of like a toddler whinge. It was just grating on me, and it was in the evening. It was late, and I said, "Oscar, don't say that. You're not 5." And Oscar put the knife down and looked at me and went, "Oh, fine," and stomped off in what I now look back on is a glorious strut down the hallway. But we then did have a conversation after, and I said, I'm sorry. And Oscar said, "You don't know why I'm upset." And I said, "Because I said you were 5. And I didn't mean that. I meant that you were whinging, but you have to understand that you need to try to do things yourself." And they said, "Thank you." And it was okay. But yeah, it was a big challenge because they were able to communicate their feelings to me. It was great, but it was very much I needed to handle that conversation a little better, and it was just difficult. But yeah, that was just a little topper. So and there's other elements of independence that we're trying for Oscar that is tough at the moment.
Right.
But that's okay. We are able to have that conversation, so we are giving it a go.
Oh,
It's been
awesome.
one of those weeks for me, but not for you. Let's hear about wins. Is it to do with the medical update?
Yes. I was just saying,
Oh.
firstly, do you feel better that you've discussed some of those things, though? Does it make you feel better that you shared, or not? Because I generally feel like sometimes I share stuff like that. I just feel better because I talked it through with another person that I'm not living with, if that makes sense. But
yeah, it is not. It is nice. Trust you to identify that I wanted to move on quickly from my challenges this week. It is kind of like weighing, but there's always an opportunity to do it again. And I think the important thing for Laura and I is that Oscar has as much independence as an adult as possible, because the stats aren't good on that in terms of what they are going to be able to do because of their diagnosis. And I want to be as hopeful as possible, but doing these sort of things now are the case. So yeah, it is helpful to talk about how challenging it was because it just seems so innocuous. But I think there's a need there for us when we do upset Oscar to try and repair that and understand those emotions rather than just think they'll get over it, because it's kind of, what drives them a lot of the time. Yeah. I feel better about sharing it and talking about it, but it's not the stuff we Laura and I like to get into, because the easy way out of it is to not do that. Just continue to do the stuff for them, and then that's it. But what kind of future does that lead to? And my question again always, who are you doing it for?
yeah,
and it's always about finding that balance, isn't it?
yeah, it's trying to balance up the sort of short-term pain for the long-term gain and how how to best approach that. And but it sounds like it sounds like, as you say, you got through, which is that should sort of be like our sort of like secondary sort of tagline. I'm like, you made it through, because it is an achievement to just make it through. Because now
and it wasn't every time. Like there was a time when Oscar came down. I just did it this afternoon, and they were okay with it. It's just whatever's motivating them at that time. If I've interrupted that, that's going to be really challenging. But they need to eat at certain times. So anyway, yes. On to more fruitful things. Let's do some wins.
So
that rhymes. That rhymes.
That was good. I like that. So I got a couple of little things. Firstly, so winning was for part work, part life. Lovebirds won an award at Rob Knox last weekend. Our
yes.
amazing actress Ruth won Best Supporting Performance. So that was awesome.
Amazing.
So that's the
Nice.
first, I believe that is the first official award for Lovebirds on his film festival tour. So that was really nice to
Cool.
start the weekend.
Let me give some
with that.
factual information. Lovebirds is a short film made by Squid Shack Studios.
Yes, it is. Shot by one of your former students.
Yes, yeah. Shot by a former student of mine who I didn't know was doing that. So that's also nice. And being that I also used to run a filmmaking club for both Dan and Sid, who run Squid Shack, it's a nice little win for us all. It's a nice feeling of good. The Squid Shack also make this podcast, which is glorious. Anyway, plugs out of the way. What was the other win?
Yeah, that sounded like an advert, didn't it?
I've got a good ad voice.
So other sort of important sort of win, just for the refresh word, sleep is now starting to stabilize a little bit more now that Frankie is settled into and has done a first full week of school. The last week he was sleeping better, but now he is now getting to the point where he is tired, so he goes to bed earlier, tends to sleep that little bit longer. If he's getting up like between 5 and 5:30, but that's great because that's 2 hours later than he has been for the last few months. So we're now starting to feel a little bit better. Or when you first catch up on, although you don't catch up on sleep, but when you actually have like, wow, we slept like 3 hours longer today, you actually feel worse because you're just not used to but yeah, we kind of got through that now, so feeling a lot more refreshed. And then some of the development stuff that's really promising and we're really happy about. So yesterday, I was out. I've been out a lot this weekend, and my dad was over. And when it come to bath time yesterday, Frankie showed Granddad that he can do a stand-up wee. He just walked up and did another stand-up wee in the toilet, which is great. So that is definitely sort of starting to happen more regularly.
Oh my God.
So the toilet training is
progressive.
Oh, I don't like toilet training, but I don't like the word training.
Yes.
The toileting, when it comes to wees, he's definitely seeming to be more confident and totally understanding what he wants to do. And he is he also is taking us sometimes to, like, let's say sometimes he can have a completely fine nappy and he just surges. So he actually now is telling us, he takes us to the toilet and goes, I want to get changed now. So that's getting really good. So I think we're getting there.
Good.
Just slowly. I'm not trying to get too greedy and just jump into the next level. We just want to keep that happening. And then the other small, lovely communication win that we had this morning, this morning we said, go change. He came in, was pulling Amy in the kitchen to basically say, I want to be changed. So we went, okay, let's go change. I opened the downstairs toilet. He went and stood inside, and Amy was changing him. I was sitting there talking to him, and I was like, oh, there's a spider in the sink downstairs. So I was like, because it's been really bad rain, we leave the window open in there sometimes. So I was expecting it, and he's looking at this spider, and I was like, Amy doesn't like spiders. I was like, it's all right, I'll go get it. She finished putting the nappy on, putting his trousers on. Frankie then runs into the kitchen and comes back with his water jug, and then puts his water jug on top of the spider, because that's how I catch spiders in our living room and our kitchen. So he's like, sorry, Dad, I've got this. But instead of getting a tumbler like me, he just went and got his cup and went boom. And I went, oh, babe, you're gonna kill it. So it's like, oh, good boy, well done, praise him. I then went and got the glass tumbler, called it, removed it. He follows me, and then I took it out into the back garden and let it go, because I don't kill spiders. I just catch them, release them, and they come back into my house within a week. And I basically just keep catching the same 2 spiders.
So good that learning has happened.
Yeah,
just by observation.
Yeah. It's just one of those, we say to people, like, he does learn. He's very observational, and every now and again he'll just do something like, it's all right, Dad, I can do this.
Nice. What a lovely little win.
Yeah, that just made my morning this morning before I had to go out and do some work stuff. So so cool. Some communication breakthroughs, which is trending in the right direction. So very, very happy.
Nice. It kind of all those thoughts of like, oh, maybe, all those fears of, maybe they will grow up nonverbal, and that is also very possibly true. But also, there's those little wins of, like, they'll be able to go to the loo. Like that little thing is so huge. Got a question or want to share a story? Drop us a message on Instagram or email us at NeuroDADverse@gmail.com. Look after yourselves. Hey, so we're at the point of the podcast where I'm going to share my win now. It's kind of just an update, really. We are at the process now where all of the tests and paperwork and form filling out data and stuff is all gone and sent for Mabel's ADHD 360 application.
Amazing.
So, yeah, it has taken a lot of time to get her in the right frame of mind to do that and advocate for her. But I'm cracking a smile if you're watching on YouTube because I went out for the day socially with some friends yesterday, and Laura tasked herself with getting it done. So that was yesterday's hyperfocus, and yeah, it was good. Maybe went out to watch a friend play football, and then came back, and the thing was you can't go back out to hang out with your friends until this is done. And so, yeah, Laura smashed through it in a whole day. Then that hasn't been that we've been waiting to do anything. It's just been, when do you fit this in? When is it going to be the right time for Mabel to feel that she can express some of these things and try to put some words to the feelings and the experiences that she has? And Laura's been very clear, like it's super difficult. It was super difficult for her to do all of that. So yeah, so Mabel needed an advocate, and I was pretty pleased when like Laura was able to do that. Not that I don't think Laura was incapable or incapable of doing that. It's just,
No, I understand.
like, I was Laura's main advocate, and yes, I think it's a good thing because they have some similarities, and Laura's also been through a lot of the individual bits before. So yeah, that is a big win because it means the ball is rolling, and if whenever the appointments come and whatever happens, it helps Mabel understand what's going on for herself. And it doesn't matter if she's a stripy horse or a zebra, she will understand more for herself more. But yeah, so that is a big win.
That's amazing. No, awesome, man.
Yeah,
that's
good.
really good.
Yeah. Cool. Before we do the regular thing of looking at our bath time scores this week, my favouritely named bit of the podcast, a look ahead to the week ahead. Do you know what's going on next week? I feel as well like last week I missed it. Last week I missed a trick by not saying look ahead to the weekend 2 days ahead, but never mind.
I think I do actually.
School, there's 5 days of school involved.
I mean, yeah, I mean that this section has probably less content potentially, but also could expand greatly outside of usual timings. But yeah, school, and then I think we're going to our good old friend Eric's stream. Double sesh. We went a few weeks ago, but yeah, I think we're it was down to do this week, to be fair, but because I've been busy, it just didn't quite work with the timings of the other stuff I had to do. It is very much a double parenting activity.
Nice.
When it comes to leaving, at least, just because he likes it so much, he never wants to go. So you need 2 people to coordinate that transition. In terms of, I can't think. The big thing actually. Sorry, the big thing that I am actually doing tomorrow is I am going along to the Send Sanctuary rally outside Parliament Square for 2 hours.
Oh, rad.
For the Fight for Ordinary rally. So that is something.
Rad.
So I'll be representing the podcast there. Hopefully do some networking with fellow podcasters. I do believe there's a couple of podcasts that I listen to that are going. So yeah, kind of have your voice heard and also do a bit of connecting with other people in and around the neurodiversity space. So looking forward to that. I'm hoping the weather's better than what it is currently. It has been tipping it down pretty much most of the afternoon here. So, but yeah, so I can go do that and still be back for the school run.
Wow. Packed day.
Well, no, they thought about it, right? They're all parents of neurodiverse children.
Yeah.
Neurodivergent children. So it's like 11:30 till 1:30. So I can jump up to London and get back home again just before the school run, hopefully.
That sounds good.
But yeah, so
well, I
I'm
hope that
looking
is
forward to that.
I hope that is an encouraging, joyful, and mutually respectful place to be, because I think even though it's rallying for some change, I think the unity and community that you can find with people who share experiences like this podcast is just helpful, and every neurodivergent child has their own particular needs, but kind of sharing some of where those things overlap is it's just really nice to help navigate alongside someone, I think. Cool. Oh, nice.
What about you?
I am not going to that tomorrow, more to the shame, because I would like to be there, but I will be
You're
in
an
a
educator.
classroom.
Yeah, you're an
Yes.
educator of people.
Yeah.
That is an important job.
Yep. We don't get to do fun stuff during the week. That's not true. There's a lot of fun stuff happening this week in class, but it's not about my profession, this podcast. We have a full week of school. Laura has some shifts. So a bit more. So she's not working next weekend, but she has some shifts through the week. So there'll be a lot of not as intense as it was when the kids were in primary, where it was like she would do night shifts and then we'd high five at the door. I'd go to work, but it will feel a bit like that. So there'll be a lot of kind of handing over,
Right.
communicating when. Yeah, so there'll be some solo parent evenings. Maybe we'll have football training. Yeah, nothing huge jumping out at me that presents particular challenges.
Just fingers crossed for a stable week for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, let's just get into it and have as much positivity as we possibly can. If it was like this week was the week where we remembered this is what sometimes it's like. So, but we do have Mabel does have a football fixture on the Sunday, and we kind of have a free Saturday. So we might all do a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But Saturday, we're kind of reminded that our Saturdays are often both Oscar and Mabel, you just want to do whatever it is you want to do, and a lot of that means
Just chill out and recuperate.
I need to shut the world out, actually, because that's been a lot this week. Yeah, so look ahead to the weekend. It's not looking massively dramatic. So
Fingers crossed.
Fingers. Well, just work out where the roller coaster is going to take us next.
Love that.
Right, cool. So is bath time still occurring?
No,
Have you got an update of the live bath time?
I'm going to message Amy now. So if you want to share your last bath time, I will see if she will get back to me.
So it was the Sunday. We did Sunday bath time. We brought it back to this is, prep for the end of the weekend and the start of school. I did it. And I did it in the way that we're doing it. Oscar requested that I leave the room quite a lot. I had to discuss and debate about some of the times when I needed to be there to check that things were being done in a certain way. I'm not being deliberately obtuse or glib about that, but it's a personal bathing experience. So, but they did take the opportunity. So I don't know how dull this part of the podcast can become, but maybe some people are interested. We went from shampoo bottle and conditioner bottle to attempt an all-in-one. Oscar has shoulder-length hair, and they like it when it feels conditioned. Okay. So, hence why they hadn't been particularly happy with the single bottle before. So we returned back to the single bottle. We were thinking it might streamline their independence. And that was good, because they did that, and they were in the bath and they washed their own hair out, and all of the bits were independent. I deliberately cut it quite shorter time-wise when then returns, because I was like, I don't want to set the precedent that this just takes as long until they're ready to come out. I know a bit of that overlap with like Push the Independence. So everything was done independently. We've also made a little change so that their bedroom now is where they're going to do all the drying and getting dressed. So I can shut the door and say, now you get dressed. We bought them like I don't know what the actual product is called, but because of the iteration, I'm going to call it a hair hammock. So you put it on like a bandana, you wrap it around the back, and then it's got like a tag, and you put the thing at the front, so your hair's kind of done up in a thing.
That sounds pretty awesome.
People with hair and long hair can tell me what it's actually called, but I'm going hair hammock. And to be fair, even if you tell me the actual product is now going to be hair hammock for one, it's the those weird things that stick in families and then people don't understand. I feel like I have to tell you a fun story about Mabel in primary school about what things are called, but I will stick on the bath time thing before I do that. So we were okay, but some of those changes we were a bit grumpy about, and it felt like we were getting to the point where, or maybe just because it was returned to, oh, Dad does this now, but that they didn't feel like they needed me when actually they do, just to make sure it's done properly or well.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, but I think we are in the positive spin of things. So a good solid 8.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. First time back in the ring and you get an 8. That's good.
Yeah. Well, the bar has been set high over the summer, so I need to raise it. Yeah. Have you got a live update?
Yes, I have. I'm just consulting my mobile device communication apps. So I've got a 10.
Wow, let's go.
So got him all by himself.
Oh, what all the data? Let's go.
Yeah. Just, I've got a report across multiple messages because that's how we do it in our family. Write a sentence, we hit the button. No paragraphs in this house. So a 10. He got in all by himself after a lovely cuddle in the bed, because he generally goes on the bed. Then sometimes we take top off, then he goes in, takes his bottoms off and gets in. So they had a pre-bath cuddle, which I must admit we had last week when I was solo parenting, and it was really nice, and that probably just helped the transition. So that was good. Washed himself and soaked, played nice, cleaned his teeth, then got out and wanted to tell you all about it. Yeah, I don't know if you could hear my door handle squeaky. I need to put some WD-40 in it. He was trying to come in to tell me. Then he got his nappy, put his cream on, and
we have
come down.
equity in this podcast. If Mabel interrupts, fine. Frankie interrupts, fine. Oscar interrupts, fine. The household can interrupt. Do not ever not let that kid in.
Okay, all right.
Was it Frank trying to come in?
The door. I did lock the door, because if he would have come in, that might have been a long transitional pause there. But he was. I could hear he was trying to enter the room. What he likes to do is he exchanges me toy cars for my work things. So he'll come in and go, here's a toy car, I'm going to take this highlighter, or here's a toy car, I'm going to take your mouse. I'm like, babe, I need these things. Like, he just walks in, runs off, and I'm like trying to turn off the Bluetooth before he shuts down a project I'm working on. But yeah, so Ken got himself in, soaked, washed, played, did teeth, got nappy, got dressed, went downstairs. Lovely. So yeah, there we go.
Nice.
I'll take that. That was live reporting.
Amazing.
2 meters. Now I can tell you, to my left.
I think I've told this story of the podcast before, but it's common in our families to give names to things that aren't the right things, or just phrases. So
you said something last week about
making
pajamas.
Tea.
No. Last week you said something. Oscar said something around pajamas. They call pajamas something different.
Sleepy nights.
Yeah. So is it okay? So something like this.
That type of thing. But sometimes those things bleed out into the real world. Yeah. In the real world, and the kids use them, and sometimes people don't understand what they're talking about. So we used to have a radiator in our house. That was just about the height of Laura's small back, the small of your back, the bottom part of your back. And in the winter, when that radiator was on, she used to stand next to it because it used to be nice to warm up her lower back, right? Specifically that part, because that's where she was feeling pain or tension or whatever. Although now I'm retelling this story, there's probably a diagnosis reason why specifically that was the sensory thing. Oh, this is nice. I'll get to Laura about that later. Anyway, Laura calls that her bum back because it's in between her back and her bum, right? Fine, this is her bum back. Are you okay out there, Loz? Yeah, I'm just warming my bum back. It's fine. In about year 6, Mabel fell over in the playground and the staff were asking where it hurts. Oh, have you fallen over, Mabel? Where does it hurt? Oh, right here in my bum back. It's fun.
That's amazing. That is
fun.
amazing.
But also, we didn't laugh at her. We were like, well, clearly it's not that difficult to understand. Yeah. So
no, that's amazing.
So yeah, yes, more of those as we go through. But if I've told that one already, I apologise.
No, I've not heard that before.
Does bring joy to our lives.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So talking of the Sleepy Nights, I have to go begin that process this evening. I'm soloing it tonight. So what I mean by soloing it is I'm soloing it, and the bedtime safe Oscar asks for Laura to do nail clippings or something. That won't be possible because Laura is working a shift. So we'll see how things go.
Well, I look forward to hearing about it all next week, mate. And,
yes.
I won't lie. The fact that we recorded on Friday last week and we're now talking again on Sunday, I kind of felt like I was walking around earlier, just it feels really weird. I haven't spoke to Ben or seen Ben in 7 days. I see him every 7 days at the moment, at least. It just felt really weird. It's like that extra weekend.
Did we feel uncomfortable with the change of routine then?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I was just like, I'm enjoying this now. So
because I'm enjoying not talking to me for 10 days.
No, I missed it. I missed not talking to you. We should. I'll definitely make a note that we need to do a little one on or a discussion on solo parenting, because I've literally just done a weekend of it and I've barely talked about it in this episode.
Oh yeah, of course.
I literally the whole reason we recorded early was because Amy was away for the weekend celebrating her birthday.
Yeah, of course.
And obviously there was some good and obviously some challenges just in that, but maybe we do discuss the difference between solo and dual parenting.
Yeah, stick it to the long list of topics we can discuss when we find some time to record in our busy time. But yeah, fantastic. Well, you've been listening to myself, Ben, and him, Dan, talk about the challenges and wins. Yeah, I don't know if this is
him.
This has gone bad, hasn't it?
Dan. Love that.
Because he's there. Yes.
Sorry,
well,
I apologise.
Yes, it's fine. That's fine. Don't apologise. Going from our natural flow of conversation as two friends talking about their weeks into semi-professionally trying to close out the podcast is a problem. Challenge. It's a challenge. Yes, if you've been listening to this and you want to share things that resonate with you or anything at all to do with parenting your neurodivergent child, please do get in touch. We are on social media on Instagram and TikTok, and we also have a Gmail if you just don't use those other platforms. We are NeuroDADverse at gmail.com. Yeah, we love talking about our challenges and wins each week. We are thankful that some of you are listening to it. But yeah, get in touch if you want us to talk about a particular thing, or you feel like you have something to add. Just whatever. We enjoy talking about this stuff, and like I was saying about down at the rally tomorrow, it's about kind of forging community and sharing similar experiences, and just knowing that you aren't on your own. There are other people having exact same challenges, albeit of a slightly different shade and color than you, but you don't have to do that alone. So yeah, go ahead, whatever turn or dip or climb the roller coaster takes you on, embrace it all and enjoy it.
100%. Win the week.
That's about it for the NeuroDADverse. We'll be back next week.
If you laughed, cried, or nodded in tired agreement, don't forget to follow us and leave a review. It helps more parents find us.
Just remember, you're doing great.
You are enough, and you are definitely not alone.
Got a question or want to share a story? Drop us a message on Instagram or email us at neurodadverse@gmail.com. Look after yourselves.